Chapter 69, Steel and Politics. Date, 30/30/80. Second quarter, Iron Confederacy, Secluded Valley. Demir rushed to the forge on another hot day in the secluded valley. Second quarter must be ending, Demir thought. Summer is upon us. He inspected the cooled blades from the week's work. 7 uncracked swords lay on the bench, actually looking decent. He picked them up and placed them on the desk when Dernek and Brovik came. He lit the forge and loaded it with coal. He readied the billets, but no one showed up yet. Today he was going to try something different. He'd counted the cooling skill, but unlike charged skill, it was based on luck. Demir realized after that notification his cooling success increased, so he readied a hot billet and started swinging to the middle where it didn't matter. And when he felt the charge build, he used them on the shaping edges. He continued alone for hours and produced 2 blades with charged skills. When he cooled them, he saw one emerge uncracked and looking shiny. One voice shouted,
"I'll take those. How much you be wantin'?"
Demir turned to the voice.
"It's not for sale. It's not for sale."
He saw Moradin standing there.
"By the mountain god's beard, you can actually learn craftsmanship, lad."
Demir dropped the sword on the anvil and ran to Moradin, hugging him till his feet left the floor.
"Drop me, kid. I am a grown man. A grandpa."
Demir set him down.
"Congrats. Are your grandkids okay?" "Aye, for now they be."
Dernek was walking behind them.
"Quit your chit-chat. Show me what ye made, boy. These idiots took all our day."
Demir showed all the week's survived 7 swords.
"Aye, these be swords, but useless. What be that?"
Dernek pointed to the newly finished one on the anvil. Moradin picked it up, testing the weight.
"That'd be looking like it'll fetch serious coin." "Yeah, is it good?" "I poured my soul into it."
Rest of the dwarves were coming out of the inn. 2 Confederacy guards, well-geared and looking high-level with good equipment, were inspecting the crowd from the city mine entry shaft.
"What is going on? Why are you here?" "Not for visiting ye, that's for sure. You saved your friends from goblins?" "I did. Now it be my time. I came to offer Dernek to run for Iron Prince title."
Dernek's eyes narrowed.
"I be sensing now that they sent ye know I canna win or run for it because of me age. What do ye really want?"
"Maybe pull eyes here. Where others..." "Shh. Smart kid."
Dernek pointed his cane at them.
"Brovik, get over here. Take your deceiving nephew and bring a handle for this sword. I be wanting to test it."
Brovik walked over and Frisk hit Moradin.
"Ye stupid brat. What did ye do this time? That gathering was horse shite, now distracting me disciple. Did ye bring what I asked of ye?"
"I take it, uncle."
Moradin produced different-looking papers from his bag and gave it to Brovik.
"They done want me to run, actually. They have a real horse inside the city. They just be wanting eyes here."
"Wasna me idea."
"I know ye do nae have much brain cells."
Brovik attached the handle to Demir's latest creation.
"Oak, its balance be good. I be liking it."
"Give me that."
Dernek took the weapon and took a couple practice swings, testing the balance. Then with one move he jumped and cut through straws mid-air.
"Aye, it passed me tests. I be giving these to soldiers. Good job, Demir. Now we can move on to the second lesson, etching a rune and placing a rune stone that synergizes with that."
"Right now? Because..."
Dernek laughed.
"Nay, make 10 as good as this. While etching you'll ruin some. Call me when you be finished."
"It will take at least 3 days."
"Then call me in 3 days. I'll send meats to offer Asena. Dunny miss our offerings. I dunny want to piss off the spirits."
When Dernek left, Demir opened the situation and tried to understand with Moradin.
"What's with the elections? I thought you had a prince." "I, Iron Prince. It be a title. Every 10 years guilds gather and choose our leader. And this idiot got too strong with the game closing and all, and he be trying to prevent elections. So you were trying to bring false candidates. Candidates. He cannae openly attack. Dernek be a legend. Almost every high-ranking military man carries his craft. They cannae seize him. But he is too old to actually run. Aye, also too cranky to get votes. But the real danger be holding the elections. But we'll hold the elections whether he allows it or not, when he be at the summit." "Summit? In a couple days there'll be a summit of 11 kings, those who showed their faces in the stat freeze law. Well, I hear Augustus be dead. Won't he leave military here to prevent you guys if it's too tense? Ironfell be in the middle level zone. He cares more about high level zone city metros. His focus will be there. We coordinated our election to the same day. I wish you luck then." "Thanks, lad. We'll get free of that goblin-loving idiot.
Chapter 70. The Rune Lesson. Date: 3/34/80. Second quarter. Iron Confederacy. Secluded Valley. Demir's hands were blistered, raw, the calluses stretched and cracking like old leather. The forge's heat clung to him day and night until his tunic smelled of smoke and iron, until even his dreams were filled with the rhythm of hammer to anvil. For 3 days he lived by the count of his swings. Each rise and fall of the hammer was another step toward mastery. He whispered numbers under his breath, the tally ticking away in his head like a drumbeat.
19, 20.
When the charged swing ran through his arm, that strange, static hum of the invisible system responding, Demir shifted, focusing the power into the sword's edge. Sparks scattered like stars. By the time his arms trembled with exhaustion, he had hammered 10 solid blades, straight-balanced, cooled with discipline. The failures lay in the corner, cracked and warped, monuments to wasted nights. But these 3 gleamed on the bench, proper swords worthy of soldiers. Demir touched them with pride, chest swelling. Demir had no words for it, only the thrill of faster rhythm. The game might have hidden the system, but the world still whispered through his bones. His charged swings were down from 25 to 20. By the 3rd evening, sweat-soaked and swaying, Demir staggered toward Dernak's hut.
Master, I'm finished. 10 swords with good quality.
The old dwarf squinted at him, a half-drunk mug of beer in his hand.
Aye, 10 blades be it? Good for you, boy. But I be too old for admiration speeches. Rune lessons will wait. Tomorrow.
He waved him off with all the care of brushing crumbs from his beard. Demir almost collapsed where he stood. That night Brovik appeared with a barrel tucked under one arm and a grin wide enough to split his face.
Ye've done it, lad. 10 swords solid. By the mountain god's beard, when I was your age, I could barely keep the metal from crumbling like stale bread. Ye've gone further in 3 days than I did in 3 years. Boundless potential that be what humans are. Dunna let anyone tell ye otherwise.
He cracked the barrel, and the 2 of them drank until the forge's glow blurred into warm haze. Demir laughed at jokes that weren't funny, raised toasts to swords that weren't sharp, and passed out on the workshop floor, head pounding like a smith's hammer. The broom bristles stabbed his ribs.
Get up, ye drunken Egypts!
Dernak's voice cracked like thunder. He prodded Demir and Brovik mercilessly until both groaned awake.
Forge be no place for pissheads. God's help me, what kind of master must deal with such? Bah! Come on, lesson time.
Demir staggered upright, still reeking of ale. Brovik just grinned through the headache. Inside the forge, Dernak set the 10 swords on the bench. He looked them over with his fiery eyes, then grabbed one at random. The balance made him grunt approval, but he didn't say it aloud. Instead, he fetched a small chisel and held it up.
Ye think making swords be about hammering? Bah! Hammer'd be the easy part. What makes a weapon sing be the rune.
He tapped the flat of the blade.
Here, at its heart. Without it, it'd be just sharpened steel.
Demir leaned in.
What kind of runes are there?
The old dwarf smirked.
Plenty. Rune of powerful, when ye be wantin' ye strikes heavier. Rune of swiftness makes the blade dance faster than your feet. Rune of God makes steel resist shattering. And hundreds more, though most be just dwarves making up new names for old tricks.
He pressed the chisel into Demir's hand.
Etchin' be no swingle hammer, it be patience precision. One wrong cut, one slip, and the whole blade be ruined. And mind ye, etchin' is nae carving a picture, it be cutting a channel for magic itself. Ye dunna coax it proper, the stone will nae bind.
Demir nodded, pulse quickening.
Watch now!
Dernak set the blade across his lap, hand steady despite his years. He scored the steel in a looping pattern, a runic knot of lines and curves that shimmered faintly in the forge's glow. Then he pressed a small stone into the hollow he'd made. The gem pulsed once faintly, then settled.
There. Rune slot, rune set. Sword now holds power, swings harder, bites deeper. But mind ye etch wrong and you'll weaken the steel. Might as well sell it as scrap.
Demir felt another hum in his bones. His vision blurred for a heartbeat, then clarity surged. Something inside him understood. The invisible system acknowledging the skill.
I think I learned something just now. Yesterday it was the title. Today, I feel it. The skill. It's like the sword is talking back.
Dernek eyed him warily.
Humans, always Russian, but aye, that be the feeling.
The next hours were agony. Demir tried his hand on the first blade, carving the rune with all the care he could muster. The chisel bit too deep. The steel cracked. Useless. Junk. The second blade warped at the chisel's touch. Junk. The third split in half before he even finished the lines. Dernek's voice roared at every mistake.
Ye be scratching like a child drawn in mud. Hold your wrist straight, curse ye. Too shallow, ye donkey-headed ape. That is nae a rune that be a piss-poor doodle.
Even Brovik wasn't spared.
Yee, quit hovering over him like a hen with one chick. Let the boy fail.
By the fifth ruined blade, Demir's hands shook. Sweat poured down his back. His arms, still weary from 3 days of forging, cramped with the delicate work. But then the hum came again, and the lines flowed smoother. On the sixth try, the rune etched clean. When he pressed the stone of power into the slot, the sword pulsed faintly. It lived. Demir exhaled like he'd been drowning.
That be one. Dumball, aid.
The next 4 failed again, leaving him snarling in frustration. Steel cracked runes, slipped stones rejected his carving. By the end, only 2 swords gleamed true with runes embedded. The rest were junk fit only for the scrap pile. Dernek gathered the ruined blades and tossed them aside with disdain.
8 corpses, 2 survivors. That be the way of runes, boy. One mistake, whole thing wasted. Any fool can hammer a blade, but only a smith worth his beard can give it a soul.
Demir sagged arms, trembling.
All that work wasted.
Not wasted. Lesson learned. Each blade ye ruined taught ye what not to do. That be worth more than the 2 ye saved.
Demir forced a weak grin.
That sounds like something you tell a child after breaking his toy.
That'd be exactly what it is.
Dernek smacked them both with the broom he'd brought in.
You'll learn or you'll die swinging dull steel. Now clean the forge, then take the meats to the spirit. Asina be waiting for her due.
Demir trudged out into the woods, arms aching, 2 ruined swords strapped to his back. In one hand he carried the wrapped haunch of meat Dernek had prepared. The giant wolf was waiting, always waiting.
Ehina.
He set the offering on a flat rock. The beast prowled forward, eyes gleaming like molten silver. She sniffed the meat, then looked at him almost insulted.
Yeah, I know it's not much. I ruined 8 swords today. What did you do?
The wolf ripped into the meat and spat the bone at his feet as if in mockery. Demir threw up his hands.
Fine, you win again.
He trudged back to the forge, Asena's howl following him like laughter. By the time he collapsed on his cot, Demir's body ached from hammer, chisel, broom, and wolf alike. But despite the failures, despite the ruins of 8 blades piled at the forge's edge, his heart beat with stubborn pride. 2 swords, 2 living blades. His first steps toward true weaponsmithing. Chapter 71, Shield and Summit. Date 30-30-80. Second quarter, Chalice Theocracy. Aris took his place again at the class. Today was different. Most guards weren't present at their posts. The newly formed classes didn't have any desks, only benches at the edge to watch. 2 days later, individual duels and ranking were going to start. He still hadn't set his mind on using the witness stone to get a few wins to enter the top 30 or not. Rathvos entered the class with a local staff, both carrying training swords and shields.
Today our country has special guests, so most of our guards are at the palace. Take a break from fighting one another. As Templars, we are required to have proficiency with shields and weapons. Pick one and I will show you how you can use them in fighting. Of course you can use these in duels.
Aris thought, today is the day. The 11 kings who closed all of us here are coming, and I don't have any power to ask even why. Rathvos picked a shield and a training club.
Aris, come here. Pick a shield and a sword.
Aris picked up a wooden shield and sword. He gulped. He didn't want to spar with Rathvos, especially now that he'd cut ties with human students when Rathvos was the one who introduced them.
You can reflect your shield spell on the shield, forming a better defense, and it requires less concentration, like this.
He covered his wooden shield with a shield spell. He gestured Aris to attack. Aris raised his sword. He'd never used one before. When he tried to attack Rathfos with one swift shield bash, Rathfos slammed his shield into Aris and knocked him out. Aris was groaning on the floor.
Well, none of you can break my shield with an attack, but there are ways to increase our defense and attack. Now, Aris, get up and imbue your shield.
Aris got up with aches all over. He had prepared all his spells before bed, so he hoped and prayed to everything he believed in to make sure his shield spell would imbue the training shield. Aris remembered the Blood Initiate title and pulled from his life force to his manifesting of the shield. When he imbued the wooden shield, the shield was radiating with gold light. Rathfos mumbled an incantation on the club. The club head turned into a hammer radiating light, and he slammed Aris's shield with it. Aris took the blow and stood still, but all that aftershock shook his bones. Aris thought, so this is an actual blow from a high-level player.
Good job, Aris. I was aiming to break the shield, but you stood still. Your shielding actually covered your gear.
But Aris, with all that load plus the Blood Initiate sacrifice, fell to the ground. Auric rushed to help Aris and used his faint, glowing, healing touch. Aris immediately felt better. Rathfos laughed.
I take it back. You all are weak. You all can imbue your shield. Study on that all day. Imbuing a weapon is a complex and hard process, requires concentrating on 2 spells at the same time, but you can learn till the 3rd dungeon. We will start tomorrow on that. Today, practice shielding.
Aris thanked Auric, and both took a corner place to spar.
I don't think this class is right for me. I don't want to be a magical knight.
Then why did you choose Templar?
I think I will try to be an Inquisitor.
Like I said, you don't have half the stomach for that.
After classes, Auric asked to continue their sparring with spells, but Aris said,
I am a little hurt for that. I will just try to brew potions.
Sure, go ahead. Maybe I will come for those sweet potions.
Aris went down the stairs, still aching from Rathfos's attack and shield slam. Fox took his side.
How were the classes?
Rathfos made a fool out of me.
So, usual.
Yeah.
When they entered the alchemy room, Aris looked at yesterday's strength potion and saw that it had cooled to perfection. But since now he was dividing 3 ways to increase his success, chance had only filled 2 bottles. Later, Aris prepared ingredients for swiftness potions. He lit 3 cauldrons and divided the ingredients 3 ways and started brewing. But all 3 turned a muddy color almost at the same time.
What is wrong?
When he checked the ingredients, some batches of swift grass had mold on them.
These had mold on them.
He removed the moldy ones, cleaned the cauldrons, and started anew. This time, it was going good. Suddenly, the door opened, and Lyra entered with her wolfkin form.
If you didn't come to show today's show, I would have come to your room.
What show?
Didn't you hear? Kings and queens are here, and we have video of that room.
That show! I am here. So shut up.
Lyra produced her device and set up the feed. The feed was showing the security room, but everyone in the security room was dead silent watching the summit. Lyra made the screen focus on that. After a couple of minutes later, kings and queens were entering the salon of the palace. High Priestess Aeloria wore her fakest smile, welcoming everyone and seating them at the giant table.
Ah, High Emperor of the Elves. Therain Valorian, you honor us with your presence.
She continued, greeting each one and seating them.
Queen Serenia Valafort of the Humans, how wonderful to see you. Please take your seat here. Iron Prince Thargrim Stonevein, welcome. Your journey was long, I trust. War Chief Grackthal Ironfang. The strength of the Orcs graces us today. Queen Mira of the Crescent Bark, your presence brings life to our halls. King Zorith Flameborn, the shadows honor us with your attendance. Queen Aria Dusinger the Fae's grace lights our gathering. King Brokar the Tall, we are delighted you could join us.
Fox snorted.
How is that halfling named Tall?
Could be tallest of the halflings.
Queen Nerithis, Tyborn the seas send their finest. King Vathos the Hollow, your eternal wisdom is most welcome. Emperor Solinar the Radiant, your light shines upon us.
Aris thought, so these are the ones who caged us here. The old elven emperor took the hosting from the High Priestess and welcomed everyone. Kings and queens were all seated at the table, but the high priestess was seated behind alone, giving the message, "You are not our level." The Emperor Therain Valorian spoke his voice, carrying ancient weight.
These passing 4 years weren't without incidents and mistakes, but all in all, we are living and thriving without creators pulling our strings, and now everything is settling into steadiness. I asked for this meeting because of my retirement.
Some voices murmured, and especially the high priestess's face took on a horrified expression.
But Your Highness, without your guidance, this relatively new formed.
The Emperor's hand raised to cut the murmur.
Why is she talking? Isn't she just an observer?
The real question be why she be here. Heck, why are we here? Our countries be secure enough.
There is already a human representative. Her observation and contribution is not necessary.
Emperor Therain Valorian spoke calmly.
Friends, please, we should not divide on each subject. She contributed much to me, and I hope my successor listens to her brilliant ideas. But now that we have inside covenant business, Aloria, my dear, will you leave the room?
Aloria faked a smile again and left the room. She clearly wasn't pleased with the idea of the Emperor retiring. When Aloria left the room, she immediately entered the security room. Guards immediately stood up and gave their seat to her, but she was too agitated and angry to sit. She locked onto the screen. Behind her, a crusader, Aris, recognized Kurgadan, entered.
Your Highness.
Shut up. I don't want to miss this.
Emperor Therain Valorian continued.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I am too old to carry on this responsibility. After we elect a new leader, I will give up my crown at kingdom as well. I know I did not inform you on the matter.
Sorry, Your Highness, before we enter the important matters, I be thinking there are some races and their leaders who should enter the covenant as their numbers increase and their influence grew. We didn't want them challenging us.
You mean goblins who be keeping ye in that seat?
The Iron Prince objected to that.
Everyone be knows, if the stat freeze did not happen, they wouldn't even let you finish your term. And now you use goblins to seize the throne, postpone elections.
Those be lies. And goblins got smarter, better in every way.
Bomb, 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 bomb. The surveillance feed shook violently as the entire palace trembled. Through Lyra's device, they watched the camera in the security room tumble through the air, spinning wildly before clattering to the ground. The image tilted at a crazy angle, showing boots and the underside of tables. Shouts erupted. Guards scrambled. Aloria's voice shrieked orders that were lost in the chaos. Then a heavy boot stepped into frame. Kurgadan. He bent down and the camera jerked upward as he grabbed it, steadying the view. Now the feed showed what he was seeing, the meeting room through the security monitors. The opposite wall of the summit chamber had simply ceased to exist. Where ornate tapestries and ancient stonework once stood, there was only a gaping wound of shattered masonry and swirling dust. Smoke billowed inward like a living thing. And through that breach, backlit by the setting sun, stood a figure. Not charging, not rushing, just standing. A graying old man in pristine black leather armor, untouched by the destruction around him. In his hand, something glowed with impossible light, a tesseract, its edges sharp enough to cut reality itself. The old man didn't speak, didn't move, just stood there patient as death itself. The feed flickered as Kurgadan steadied the camera without his intention, his breathing harsh through the audio.
By the gods!
Someone whispered in the security room. Chapter 72, The Ghostblade's Gambit. Date 3038-0. Second quarter, Chalice Theocracy. The silence stretched. Through Lyra's feed, Aris could see the security room guards frozen, staring at their monitors. Even Aloria had gone still, her face pale. Then the old man moved, one step forward into the breach. His boots crunched on broken stone.
Hello, everyone. I am Lex D'Souza, a.k.a. Reigns.
The spell broke.
What the hell is going on? Seize that man!
Guards, protect the covenant.
Aloria's voice cracked with fury as she spun toward the door robes whipping behind her. But in the security room, several of the guards were backing away from the monitors, not rushing forward. One dropped his spear. It clattered on the stone floor.
Ghostblade.
War Chief Grakthul Ironfang's whisper was barely audible through the surveillance.
Jaguar of Atheros.
Queen Arya Dusinger breathed, her fey features going ashen.
Firefang Rider.
King Brokar added, and for once the halfling wasn't smiling. Emperor Therain Valorian raised a weathered hand.
Those are just titles from
the War of Ascension. This man killed a titan, alone.
The feed shifted as Kurgodan rushed after Aeloria carrying the camera with him. Now the view was bouncing, showing flashes of corridor, then guards scrambling, then finally through another doorway, the summit chamber itself. Through Kurgodan's hands they saw Lex D'Souza standing in the breach, one hand raised in a casual gesture.
Whoa, keep your places. You know what this is?
He lifted the glowing tesseract slightly. The old man showed the tesseract.
I am just here to talk. 4 years ago, you guys imprisoned us here without our consent, and now you're playing here like the United Nations. Guess what is missing? The other 50 fucking races. Well, if you consider player humans another race, 51 races missing representation.
He took one step forward.
I nominate myself as representative for the other 51 races.
Through the feed, Aris watched the Covenant leaders exchange glances. Some looked angry. Some looked afraid. None moved.
Who is this insolent fool? Arrest him immediately.
Aeloria burst into the chamber, Kurgodan right behind her with the camera. The view now showed the chamber from the doorway, the 11 kings frozen at their table, Lex standing in the breach like a stage performer. Kurgodan took one step forward, hand moving to his weapon. But an orcish hand, the size of a dinner plate, clamped onto his shoulder.
Stop! This is Ghostblade. Even without that bomb, he will shred a low-zone dweller like yourself in his sleep.
War Chief Grakthul Ironfang continued, his voice steady.
What do you really want?
The old man's expression didn't change.
If killing you all would strengthen our chances of getting out, I would have done it so much before. I just want to know who is the actual mastermind.
Silence. The weight of the question hung in the air. Then, boom! Another explosion. Different wall. Same devastating precision. The palace shook again, and through the new breach another figure appeared. The same graying old man in pristine black leather armor. The same glowing tesseract.
Hello everyone, I am Lex D'Souza.
What is this? What's going on?
Queen Serenia pointed at the first breach.
There's 2 of them?
Kurgodan broke free from the war chief's grip and rushed toward the first figure. As he got closer, the image flickered, stuttering like a bad illusion. He reached down to where the man's feet should be and snatched up a small device emitting pulses of light. The moment he grabbed it, the first Lex D'Souza vanished like smoke. Kurgodan held up the device, recognition dawning on his face.
It's a recording, a projection. Creator tech.
Eloria's face went from furious to horrified.
The second breach. Check the dungeons. Now.
A guard burst through another entrance armor, askew blood trickling from his temple.
Your Highness, it was a diversion. He entered the dungeons and freed the Shadowborn prisoner.
He gasped for air.
What?
Eloria's shriek could probably be heard throughout the palace. The view lurched as Kurgodan sprinted back through the corridor, the camera bouncing wildly in his grip. He reached a window overlooking the eastern gardens and grounds. Through the feed, Aris saw it, a figure in black leather armor carrying an unconscious Shadowborn sprinting across the palace grounds with impossible speed. A white blur, some kind of creature, kept pace beside them. And behind them, the Dark Knight on its mount, a rear guard of living shadow. Kurgodan thrust the camera toward the window, giving them all a clear view as the real Lex D'Souza reached a strange vehicle, sleek, hovering like nothing Aris had seen before. He placed the Shadowborn on it with surprising gentleness. Then Lex looked up, directly at the window, directly at the camera. He smiled, tipped an imaginary hat, and mounted the vehicle. Kurgodan's hand tightened. Through the feed, Aris heard the crunch of breaking crystal and metal as the Crusader squeezed his fury, manifesting in pure strength. The visual feed went black.
He destroyed it.
For a moment, the 3 of them just stood there in the alchemy room, stunned into silence.
Did that just happen?
Ooh. That was the most badass thing I've ever seen.
I am gonna catch him.
Fox announced, already moving toward the door.
Catch who?
What do you mean, who? The badass just humiliated the Covenant.
Wait, let me place this. We can watch from here.
Lyra pulled another transmitter and attached it to Fox's ear. Fox started running at lightning speed, jumping stairs in threes.
I didn't know he was this fast.
Lyra opened her feed, but it was just Fox running in the dark.
I think he was heading east.
He can hear us?
Yeah, I activated voice receive for this one.
Where do you get all this?
I have my ways.
Who was he? The attacker?
A high ranker, probably. I didn't know they were this badass.
He could have ended it all. Saved us.
Aris killing the kings wouldn't save anyone. And by the looks of it, he knows that too.
Fox saw a gurgling noise coming closer. In the dark night, a hovering bike was coming with all its momentum. Fox changed his course and took to the side with all his running speed.
Slow down, please.
Fox gasped. Lex pulled his hand from the handle. In the darkness of the night, what he was riding wasn't all that visible. But the old man slowed down.
Who? What are you?
A white, small passenger removed his head from below.
Can't you see it's a pet? Don't say another beastkin. I will rip your throat.
Fine, fine. You are getting so aggressive.
What is that?
Shh!
The vehicle slowed down to Fox's pace.
What do you want?
We had a bug inside and somehow witnessed you're there. Question is, who are you?
I am Lex, my fox friend. I was there to save my friend.
The white bunny was removing the bindings on the Shadowborn, trying carefully not to fall from the hovering bike.
Oh yeah, we are a small group infiltrated into Chalice, trying to figure out their experiments.
Lex took a cigar and lit it, taking a whiff.
Chalice is not important. High Priestess is nobody. Come to High Zone settlements. Real resistance is there.
Fox, can you hear me?
Yeah.
If he is traveling the world, ask him about Demir. If he saw a boy named Demir, tall, brown, spiky hair in his 20s.
Fox asked the question.
Wow, you have a communication device. Nice. If I had time...
The Shadowborn interrupted.
They are coming.
On what?
Pegasus's.
Start blasting then.
The Shadowborn started drawing aura around himself and launched meteors from his hand like ground artillery.
I have to step on it, Fox. Sorry I didn't see or meet a kid named Demir. Goodbye.
When he rolled the handle to the fullest, the vehicle almost vanished from the transmitter's vision.